you're new, welcome. Today we're going to be doing this eye makeup tutorial using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, and at the end we're also going to be doing a mini review and discussion about this product itself, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, let's go ahead and dive on in to the Subculture palette. Ooh, they're still so powdery. That is really disappointing. Okay, so what I was thinking of doing is I'm kind of matching the backdrop to my inspiration. When we were driving from Los Angeles back to Texas, it was night in Phoenix, and as we were passing, the moon almost looked green and the clouds were a little green, but everything else was like a dark navy blue. So that is kind of my inspiration for my eye look today. I'm going to do some light neon green in the center and then branch it out with some dark emeralds and navies. So fingers crossed, that's what I'm going for. So let's see how that goes. So the first eyeshadow I'm going to be using is Cube, and I'm going to go ahead and dip my highlighting brush in and top off the excess. And just go ahead and start by putting that right under my brow bone. So this is a very pretty iridescent highlight. I do feel like they might have gotten inspiration from one of their glow kits for this color. Like I said, it's not quite that pigmented, so maybe putting on a nice white eyeshadow base in this area would make it pop a little more. I did not, because I just was not feeling a white eyeshadow base today, so we're just gonna go ahead and just take this as is. I'm trying to build up this color as much as possible because I want to be able to see what we've got. However, if I do turn my head, I can see the iridescence, so that is nice. That is a nice touch. Now, I'm going to try and use the Anastasia brush that they gave you as much as possible so we can see how well it actually works when applying the makeup. So I'm going to be taking Dawn, and I'm going to be using that as my transition shade, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dip my fluffy brush in there, tap off the... That was a lot of excess. That was kind of annoying. So it's like a sandstorm, it's just going away. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and use this as my transition shade and go ahead and blend it into my crease. Now this is applying very smoothly. So far, I'm feeling that you can build this color pretty well. I definitely like this shade a lot. Very pretty. Okay, now that our transition shade is done, I'm going to be taking the flat end of the brush. I'm going to go ahead and dip into Electric. I feel like I don't even pick anything up when I use this. It's fine, let's just go with it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back in. You know, I would like a little bit of the pigment to come out on my brush, just a little bit more. I feel like I'm not getting anything out of the shade. Let me press a little harder, maybe that'll do something. Okay. Maybe I need to break the eyeshadow in a little bit more, because it seems if I press a little harder, I do get more of the pigment. However, I do not want to ruin the eyeshadow, so just be mindful and careful of that. Okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go ahead and spray my brush with some Maybelline Master Fix just so we can see if that helps the pigment a little bit more. Okay, so it is on. Let's dip in. Okay, and apply. Okay, so spraying it with a setting spray, or I'm assuming Fix Plus would work just as well. It does bring out some more of the pigment. So if you're using either Electric or Cube, I would probably recommend doing that, just so you can get the pigment that you were hoping for. And once again, I'm just putting that all over my lid. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going into the darker shade now. Now, because I'm afraid that there is going to be some fallout, what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to bake under my eye, and whenever you brush away that powder, whatever fallout you have will brush away too without ruining your face makeup. So that is a tip. If you are ever using highly pigmented or colored eyeshadows, then I would recommend doing that. So I'm going to be taking my Airspun translucent powder I'm going to be taking my Morphe sponge and I'm just going to dip that in. Also, this is going to be very beautiful. Are you ready? Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and just put that under our eyes. And so like I said, what this is going to do is this is going to catch your fallout, and then whenever you brush this away, it will brush away the fallout without ruining your makeup. Because if you try to brush your fallout without having something under it, it will end up smearing on your skin. And for example, if you're using blue eyeshadow, you will then have blue eyeshadow smeared under your eye. So this is just a little tip to help it ward against that. Oh my goodness. Woo! Sorry. Okay, let's just move past it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be taking my fluffy brush and edge, and once again I'm just going to tap off the excess. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that a little higher. I'm going to be putting that in between my transition shade and my brow bone shade, just so whenever it transitions, we'll have a little bit of that mustardy color. I was kind of looking for an excuse to use this color because I am a huge fan of it. I think it's really flattering and pretty. Little fun fact, in high school I used to always wear these mustard yellow pants. I kind of looked ridiculous. It's fine. It was cute and trendy. Pretty sure they're from Target. No one disrespects Target. Okay, now I'm going to clean all the makeup off of that and I'm just going to blend that out. Now I'm just going to go back over Cube again. So now I'm going to be going into Untamed with the blending edge of my brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that right over the Limelight Electric Green, and I'm going to just be putting that in my crease. Tap off the excess, and let's go in. I'm going to start from the outside and slowly work my way into the middle. Also, does anyone else have kind of like a tiny bald spot on their eyelid where pigment does not show up as well? Because I have that on this eye and it's frustrating. So I'm curious if anyone else has that as well. So it's only in this one spot. So it should look unblended because we haven't blended it out yet, but it's fine. Okay, now we're gonna go into the other eye, same thing. So far these shadows do seem to be blending somewhat nicely. We'll see quite like how patchy they are in a little bit, I'm sure. But they are starting to, you do kind of have to build them a little bit. Now normally for this makeup look, I likely would not be applying this with like a blending brush like to apply this eyeshadow, but I am because I really want to test out how well we can use this brush for. So if you're traveling and this is the only brush you have, you can use it. So now we're just going to go ahead and blend that out. So just a quick checkup. With applying that, I do not have too much fallout for the color Untamed under my eye, so that is very nice. Now I'm going to be taking the more precise side of my Anastasia brush and I'm going to be going into Access, and I'm going to kind of be using this as a pencil brush to get a more defined crease. I'm just going to once again put this in through my crease, starting on the outside and slowly working in. I want to build this up mainly on the crease and then slowly blend it out. What I do think I want to do is I'm starting to want to do a halo eye. So what I'm gonna do for that is I'm going to go back into Access and just be putting that on the outer corner and inner corner of the eye. So the only part that is still showing the electric eyeshadow is the very center. Let's go ahead and put that in the center as well. Pretty. So once again, I'm going to go back into the blending brush side and just blend that. Now once again, I'm going to go back in with Access and continue to build up that creased color. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Anastasia small end of the brush again. I'm going to spray that with some Master Fix, and I'm going to go back into Electric and just pat that over the inner part once more. We really want to build up that halo. Okay, so once you're happy with that, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to brush away the bottom translucent powder. So looking at it, there did seem to be a little bit of fallout from the green. Not as much as I was expecting, so that's good, but there was a little bit of fallout. So I'm just going to brush this away. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to be doing the under lash line. So now I'm going to be taking the smaller end brush. Again, I'm going to go ahead and dip into Dawn and go ahead and lightly put that under my lower lash line. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Edge and put that under the center part. Okay, and now once again we're going to go into Axis, and that is going to be on the outer lower part. Okay, now taking my mini sponge, this is an e.l.f. sponge brush, I'm going to be dipping into Electric and just putting that in the inner corner. Okay, perfect. So that is it for the eyeshadows. Now, if you want to touch up in some areas, you most definitely can. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and do some winged eyeliner. Okay, so while we are waiting for lashes to dry, I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelashes and apply some mascara. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and apply my Kiss number 11 lashes. Now that my lashes are dry, I just want to go ahead and top the band with some black liquid eyeliner so that it blends into my lash line more and you don't just have glue chunks on your eyelid. And this is the completed look. So overall, even though this palette has a few flaws regarding the fallout, I'm not going to lie, I still really like the colors and I still do think that they are rather pigmented. So I am not going to be returning this product. I do like it. I'm going to work with it with the fallout, and I was able to get the colors that I wanted to come out. I just think the colors are beautiful and they do work. So if you just have to do a little more work with it than I think you should. However, I would still buy this product. I still really like it. So the cons, personally, I like the way the packaging feels and I think it's pretty, but I would have gone with a different packaging just because it is easy to get dirty. I'm like constantly having to wipe it off just so it can stay reasonably clean. And the other con is the fallout. That's just ridiculous. So there's way too much. If I tap it off, it's just like a cloud of smoke. It's just too much. There's too much fallout. You're gonna lose a lot of product, and because this is a more expensive product, it's just a formula problem. It should not be happening. The pros are honestly the colors. I love the colors. I feel like the color selection is beautiful. I could see myself using this and making this work for a day-to-day look. Personally, I think this is more of a nighttime palette, so if you're going out in the evening, I do think this is a palette that I would grab for that. Also, I love the pigmentation. Actually is not as bad as I thought it was. When putting it on the eyes, it is not as bad. You can blend them out easily, so that is another pro. And so overall for me, this is worth buying, and that is saying a lot because for me to buy, I guess, more expensive products, and even though this is kind of an average price point, this is $42. This is somewhat average for a palette that is on the luxury side. I would still buy this. I still really like it. I feel like the colors are unique, and that is why I would choose to buy this product. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below what video you'd like to see next. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!